Residents of Half Moon Bay are accusing the government of neglecting their concerns over deteriorating roads and disruptive electricity supply. SKN Newsline contacted the president of the Half Moon Bay Residents Association, Mr. Peter Sherozero, in an effort to see firsthand some of the issues that have been at the core of their complaints. On arrival, SKN Newsline observed many concrete roads that are half overgrown with wild bush, severely cracked road surfaces, potholes, and in some areas the undermining of the road due to subsurface water movement. In addition, we were shown one road in particular that has a bend. On one side of the bend, there is a thick area of young trees, but one will not know that where the bushes end is not the side of the road, but instead it is near the center of the road. One has to be careful moving through the trees to find the edge of the road. Several previously cut trees could be seen. Their stumps remain embedded in the concrete rather than removed. One resident explained that it is particularly dangerous at night, and when it was previously cut, persons drove over to the stumps, damaging their tires because no one expected them to be in the road. He expresses his concern and disappointment over the situation.
We came over here 15 years ago, put all of our life savings into this property. We're fully fledged residents of St Kitts and Nevis now, but to an extent we have to feel a little bit betrayed by what we were promised at the time we started building and what's actually transpired. We've ended up in a situation where our infrastructure is so bad that it's destroying our vehicles. We're subjected to power cuts at least once a week at the moment, sometimes for longer, sometimes for several hours a day. And we're now in a situation where our property is basically unsaleable in the current market, so we don't really have an option but to hang on here as long as we possibly can. Don't want to claim that I'm uniquely badly off, but this is not promoting tourism in the islands, that's for sure. Visitors come here and they're seeing an area that's neglected, that's crumbling. It doesn't reflect on what you would want St Kitts to be presented as.
Minister Ian Patches-Lyburn was contacted about the matter as he holds the government's ministry that is responsible for infrastructure. The complaints of the residents about the deteriorating Half Moon Bay roads and erratic electricity supply were presented to him.
I have consulted with the Public Works Department in relation to the condition of the roads in the area, and I am also aware that some work was done in that area. It is sad to say, though, that I witnessed some months ago, after some reparation work that was done in the area, the barriers were moved and the equipment, heavy equipment, really damaged. These caterpillar tracks damaged the road. Matter of fact, most of the road damage were caused by these caterpillar heavy equipment tracks that were used or employed to do the construction of many of the buildings in the area. Remember, I believe that in the Half Moon Bay development, here it was done by a private developer who put in the infrastructure, including the roads, the utilities, water, electricity. And after some period of time, based on the law, then government has the responsibility to maintain those roads without trying to make excuses. We take full responsibility for the maintenance of those roads, which I believe have fallen within the purview of the Public Works Department. And we will maintain those roads.
Minister Lyburn said that when Team Unity got into office, he discovered a high level of infrastructure deficiencies, including that of roads, and that in some residential areas there were no roads at all. He said it was necessary to prioritize the whole island.
As a matter of fact, we looked at the overall cost to put road infrastructure in these areas, and we found it prohibitive. In that just 25 of those areas, it would have cost us $69 million to put in that road infrastructure. So we took the decision to give priority to areas. The Island Main Road was our first priority. And as we speak, we are somewhere around Sadlers in relation to the resurfacing of the Island Main Road. That was the main infrastructure in respect of roads that we focused on. Part of that was the Old Road Bay project to build resilience across Old Road Bay. Because I'm sure you are aware, I think it was after Hurricane Maria 2 years ago, when that road was completely cut off from the entire Island Main Road network. And we said, this won't happen again. Because people who traversed from Old Road Bay to Basseterre, or from Deep Bay via Old Road to Basseterre, had to go all the way around St. Kitts to get it. And we said no. So we're spending $39 million just on the Old Road Bay reconstruction. We're removing the road seaward to deal with the sea level rises, because when you looked across, it seemed as though the road was sinking, when in fact the sea level is rising. So we said we'll move seawards to mitigate or reduce the danger from the soil slippage and rockfall.
Nevertheless, Minister Libert wants to assure Half Moon Bay residents that their roads will be addressed, as he spoke about the secondary roads on the island.
It does not lose sight of the fact the secondary roads, whether in Tabernacle, whether in Buckley's Shadwell, in Half Moon Bay, right, would be addressed. Right? They may not have been addressed in keeping with the desired time of those living in the area. And I empathize with them. I apologize on behalf of Public Works and by extension the government. But we will address those roads, and we will address them in a timely manner and in keeping with our budgetary constraints. That I can say about the roads in Half Moon Bay, over there in Atlas, down there in Phillips.
According to the minister, there is a lot of road works to be done and the entire island network will be addressed. But he's asking citizens and residents to be patient.
So I would ask all fair-minded citizens to bear with us, because we do have our budgetary constraints, and we understand, we empathize with them, but we will do things in an organized way. And when we fix it, and when we repair them, we repair them with a long-term view in mind, and not any old patchwork, so to speak. Again, the Half Moon Bay area will be addressed, right? And we will address it as soon as practically and financially possible. In terms of the electricity, though, I am not hearing of any blackouts or any daily disruptions of that area in terms of electricity. That to me is some news. I'll investigate that. I know we've had disruptions, unplanned disruptions in certain areas, but that is understandable in terms of the system of generating electricity.
Notwithstanding, residents of Half Moon Bay believe that they have been neglected for a very long time and need to have their issues addressed before they get any worse.
If we see the tractor that trims the verges once a year, we're lucky. And then it only trims the main road, the road from the main road to Connery. So the other roads are totally ignored. The repairs to the roads themselves is also ignored. I've been here for 10 years now. And Apart from that, I would say any service, public service that we are responsible, we should be able to get from the government is also completely ignored, such as water, electricity. Um, it's sad. And I don't know why we're being treated like this because Frigate Bay is right beside us and they seem to be able to get all the services they need.
Glenn Bart for SKN Newsline.